I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners and custodians of the land on which we are recording this podcast, the Bidjigal and Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. We pay respects to elders past and present and extend our respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people from all nations of this land. Woo! Welcome back to the Pick Me Up podcast. We had a little break last week, but we're back and we have a really special guest. The one and only, I don't think I can mimic a drum roll, Ali Taylor.
Well, hello.
How was my drum roll?
Yeah, it was really good. I could not do better than that, so I'm not even going to try.
I will take the
really
compliment.
Good. Yeah, really good. Yeah. A compliment.
Was it a compliment?
Yeah, no, it's just we had a conversation just before we were on air about filament and element and then compliment. There's a few of those mints at the end. Yeah.
Mint. Yeah, I didn't know what a filament was.
No.
And I said it sounds like something that you would, like a putty. Like you would join your, I was going to say bits, but you would just join.
Sure.
You would join things together like the stuff you put in between bricks.
But it's not. It's a thin wire-like structure, I think, was what we looked up. Often found in a light bulb that gets hot. Yeah.
But the reason that you said that was because you were talking about your toaster.
Yes, correct. Which I also think is a filament because it's that thin wire
stuff
that heats up.
Incredible.
Anyway. Here we are, back.
We're back. We're on the Pick Me Up podcast. We're about to digress so much then. How have you been? The big question.
Big question.
How are you?
I am tired today, but that's from my own doing, from an overdue catch-up with a friend last night. But aside from that, I'm really good. My cup has been filled a lot over the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Fun.
Family over from the UK. Eldest son got married. Lots of really wholesome, heartwarming stuff. So that's been really good. And not terribly excited about it getting cold at night. But aside from that, I don't have any complaints.
I'm terrible in the cold.
Are you?
Like 2 nights ago, I already have slept with tracksuits with like a singlet tucked into my tracksuits with a hoodie and socks.
Yeah, okay.
Like I just get so cold.
Yeah, that is.
It's like 17 degrees and I'm like...
You're going to really struggle in the winter.
Yeah. I'm like, I think I've said this almost every episode with you. I'm like a lizard.
Yes.
I need the sun
to
like make me do things.
Yeah.
So when it's really cold and there's no sun, like it's been so rainy.
They'll just hibernate.
But then life can't hibernate.
Unlike last time... where I got in trouble, very conscious to ask, how are you?
Ooh, did you forget last time? That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. No, maybe not last time. I think the first season 1.
Yeah, okay.
And you just said, I'm fine, thanks for asking. And I felt terrible, so.
Classic me.
There you go.
I'm having a lot of fun at the moment.
Oh, good.
I feel I'm directing Footloose at the moment and it's literally just started. We've got a really amazing cast and it feels nice to be doing something that's outside of work because I used to always do community theatre as my hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And I was more sort of in film world.
Yeah.
But now because my day job is theatre, I kind of hadn't been doing it, but it's nice to be doing something that's completely different to that. I was worried that I had lost the passion for it, but it's been really fun. So I feel excited again. I feel like I kind of lost that excitedness for, I don't know, just that excitedness feeling.
In general. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel excited.
That's so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Cup full over here and excited over there. That bodes well for a fun episode.
I agree. I mean.
Let's hope so.
We started with Filaments, so...
I mean, come on.
Energies are high. Yes. Heated wire. Do you want to give us an update on what's happening with the Listen Up music world?
For sure. Well, interestingly, this year is the 10th year of the Songwriting Prize, which is what we're best known for.
Yeah.
Ridiculous that it's 10 years. But what's interesting this year that hasn't happened in the previous 9 years is that normally between January to April is normally kind of planning season for us. So we have a lot of semi-final events and the grand final, which are in the back end of the year. So the beginning part of the year is usually just, gearing up to entries being open and then having the entry period and the songs coming in and doing the prelim judging and all that kind of stuff. Whereas this year we have done a few different things. So we had Illuminate, our songwriting program, come back for year 2 in Melbourne, but we did it at the back end of the year last year. So we had it in the first few months this year. We also did 2 Spotlight Series shows, so one in Newcastle and one in Sydney, alongside all the Songwriting Prize stuff happening too. So it's just really interesting to see the live event space in the first quarter of the year as opposed to just the last 2. So that's been happening. And in terms of where the Songwriting Prize is up to, entries are open until the 30th of May. And
that's close.
Yeah, not far at all. And they've been open for the last 2 months. The period goes for 3 months in total. So, open on the 1st of March. And what's really pleasing to see is that at this stage of the entries being open, we have more entries than we've ever had at this stage.
Oh, wow.
And last year was a record-breaking year for entries. The year before was also a record-breaking year as well. So we're hoping this year we're going to go past the 500 mark, which
that's
be
so cool.
Outrageous. And
from all over?
From everywhere. So, yeah, and I think the thing that is certainly last year, the reason why we had more entries is we had more regional semi-final locations. So people who had maybe not entered before because they would have to pay to travel to the semi-final and then pay again to get to the grand. Now we're giving them a local semi-final. And because there are prizes for all the grand finalists, people don't mind coming to that. And then this year we've got 11 semi-final locations. So that's a jump up of 4 more from last year. So we're now getting entries from places like Tasmania and Northern Territory because this year we finally have events happening in their state. So yeah, it's really interesting to see the different genres and the different types of storytelling that are coming out of the different parts of the country.
So what are the 11 semi-final locations?
Oh, putting me on the spot. Let me see if I can remember them. Okay, you do a tally on your fingers.
Yep.
So Adelaide, Brisbane, Cairns, Canberra, Darwin, Gold Coast, Hobart, Melbourne, Newcastle, Sydney, and Perth.
Yes!
Yeah, I did it.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Such a big coverage.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And, kind of a couple of states have more than one in them. So, New South Wales has Sydney and Newcastle. Queensland has Brisbane and Gold Coast. But yeah, being able to get to the new ones this year, Cairns, Canberra, Darwin, and Hobart, is just because there's such talent there.
Yeah.
And I think that from talking to the venues and talking to people on the ground, there isn't a lot for them to do that gives them a kind of a more national exposure. So having people being able to play at a regional semi-final, which gives them the opportunity to come to Sydney to play to a Sydney audience.
That's awesome.
Is, I'm really excited to see what that brings at the back end of
Canberra,
this year.
that's going to be a good one. I feel like there's a lot of hidden talent in Canberra.
We have tried for 4 years to have an event in Canberra, and in the past we found it so difficult to find a venue. And that's probably the hardest thing with each of the new locations is without having a track history of running the event in that state, people are, venues are more and more hesitant to put new shows on because, everything costs more, there's more risk involved. And Canberra have just been very risk averse. So we've not been able to, but this year we've finally been able to have a Canberra show. So yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, that's right. That's how I feel too. And good for them as well, because they have been, the talent has not been in short supply in previous years. They've still entered because they could come to a Wagga show or a Sydney show or a Melbourne show in the past.
Yeah.
But being able to have one in their own
that's
backyard
awesome.
with their own people.
And so all the dates of the semi-finals, are they all locked in?
Yes.
And on the website and or the social media page? Have they have they been up? Okay, so
Yes.
people can check
Posted.
out those dates.
Yes, on any of our posts about our prize updates or our venue updates or anything, the full dates and venues for all of those semis are up.
Check it out, people.
Yes,
and put it in your calendars.
Including prize update, because we thought we had our prize pool finalized, and then we had like 3 new sponsors come in the space of a week. So we now have this ridiculous prize pool of over $45,000.
So awesome.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yeah.
I feel like we were just talking about Canberra and how it's like been super, difficult to get a spot there, and things are expensive and things are just, the music industry is generally just a difficult space.
Is the music industry a difficult space?
No, it is.
Well, yeah, absolutely is.
I mean, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Athanasia, who's been on the podcast quite a few times. Well, no, joking. She's been on the podcast once, but she does a lot with Listen Up Music, and she helped me with the podcast a couple of weeks ago doing a bunch of recording.
Yeah,
and
just did a spotlight series show for us too.
She's just written an article about the difficulties of the music industry, which I sadly have not. It only came out yesterday, but I have not read it yet.
Yes,
but you have.
Yeah, it was interesting because she asked publicly for people's opinions on what's happening in the live music space, and was kind of balancing that with her own opinions about it. And it's great to have people out there saying it how it is, because the music industry, for people who aren't in it, people just see music being released, shows happening, and there's kind of no understanding of. Sorry, something went in my throat when I tried to say that.
A froggy.
Yes. But yeah, people from the outside looking in just go, oh, well, the music industry is still churning. But the reality is that the live music scene, not just in Sydney, but that's what Athanasia was talking about, but across the country, is a very, very difficult place for local artists. And I feel like I've been hearing about this and talking about this for a while now, in that, I thought when COVID and the lockdowns ended and international artists came over for the first time in a few years, that was something that, would be well supported. And then after a time and things were back to normality and these international people were coming more regularly, that the local scene would then
build
ramp
back up again.
It is not happening. And there are so many factors at play that go into it, venue costs in terms of, beverages and food and the costs of all of that. They have to, there's been so many venue closures over the last couple of years. So people from a venue perspective really struggling financially. And then add into that the fact that the international scene, in terms of people coming over, not necessarily looking at local artists to support, so they're bringing other internationals to play. So the opportunities for
local artists
to be heard by bigger audiences, the opportunities for that are not as great.
Getting so small.
And then just the cost of putting on a live show as well. There's so much that goes into it that is, people weighing up whether putting the show on is worth the time versus the cost of it. People put a show on and potentially losing money, but will that give them more of a fan base? Will that give them, opportunities to make more money? But yeah, it's all in this weird melting pot where something, in my opinion, needs to change, because it's harder to get people out and bums on seats and supporting local. And without those people, people outside the industry don't realize that those people are just going to stop making music, because contrary to what a certain high profile person at a certain streaming service said, his opinion was that music was free to make, and it absolutely isn't.
How? Why? Where?
Exactly. Yeah. The certain green symboled music app. Yeah. The CEO thought that music costs nothing to make. So, shows how out of touch he is with what's going on.
Lordy,
it definitely
lordy,
costs
lord.
money.
Yeah, not only money, but also the time that people have to find to make it because they can't have it as their main source of income.
Exactly.
Balancing I don't want to say real job, like
Of course.
a job that supplies them an income to be able to live.
That's right, yeah. And that's it. The cost of living part is a topic all by itself.
Some people.
Mm-hmm.
I have noticed that there is just hardly. Sorry, I'm going back to what you were saying before. I've been to a couple of gigs recently, and there's been like, I don't know, maximum 6 people in the room.
Yeah, right.
Which it's just like that's such a weird feeling. Like,
and it is. There doesn't seem to be rhyme or reason to it as well, because there are people who I have seen playing sellout shows who are playing to small audiences. There are others who there are shows that are selling out, but they're in kind of niche genres or areas. So the hard rock and metal scene has an amazing community built around it. So their shows typically have lots of people at them. And I think there's a lot to be learnt from that community as well. It's not that these people are supporting one artist in that genre. It's that they just have this scene where people go and want to be with the people in the audience as well as the people that they're seeing. So you see kind of photos and videos from those shows and you're just like, there is life. There are people going to these shows.
Yeah.
And I think there needs to be more of that. There's a certain feeling about the industry in that it is becoming more competitive because of the cost associated with it. And the problem with music is it's not like that. There is no competitive nature to, who's the best artist in the world or anything like that. There's room for them all, but in terms of having the support that's needed, I feel like having a community that comes out to support people happens in certain pockets, but is not happening in more of your, I don't know, mainstream pop and those kind of genres.
I do have to say, I feel like too, there's a whole, and I don't know, I hate to keep referring back to COVID, but I feel like there's a whole, like I even find myself being like, oh, I just want to stay in on the weekend now. Like there's not as much, whereas, I don't know, maybe it's an age thing. But when I was like 18, I was like, let's go. Like, what are we doing? It's Friday. Yeah. It's Saturday. Or is it because now people, because of the economy and how expensive it is to live, people's working hours and lifestyle is so like under the pump. There's people out there working more than 2 jobs to try and live. So then by the time they have any chance to like, go out and see live music or have downtime, all they want to do is just like sit tight for a hot second and like.
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely right on that. And I think the other additional part to that as well is that, again, not wanting to refer back to COVID, but during that time, the time that people spent with people was typically with their closest, their partner or their family or, really close relatives. And so at the weekends, people are tending to lean into that more and spending more time with family or their partner. And therefore the friends who were not as close to that they used to see and make a plan with once every couple of weeks or month or whatever, those things are kind of being pushed to one side. And and the thing is that this is the hard part when people go, well, what can we do to fix it? There are multiple things that need addressing. It's not like there's just one thing. And if we fix that, everything will be fine. And unfortunately, the creative industries, as always, seem to be the ones that are hit the hardest. And it's terrible because if you think about a day without those things in your life, like think about a day without music, I don't mean even actively listening to it, but even in like TV shows or movies, you take all the music out of that,
nothing. No emotion.
Where would you be? Like, what would you do at it? But then the industry is called on a lot to support with things that happen in the world. Like during COVID, the music industry was hit up to provide live streams and, all these things to help people get through the period. But it was like, well, who's helping the people to do that? They're doing it out of the kindness of their hearts. But yeah, there's a lot to address, and I feel like it's going to take a long time to
rebuild itself.
Yeah.
Or build itself to start with.
Like, yeah. So that's a happy topic for the Pick Me Up podcast.
I'm
But one that's an important one.
Got
Yeah.
lots of avenues, I feel.
Definitely, yeah.
Anyway, everybody should check out Athanasia's
Absolutely. Yeah.
article, give it a read.
Yes, you can find
including
that on
myself.
her social. So
Social media. Because that's where you find everything these
That's
days.
right. Link in bio and all that. Yeah.
Link in bio. Hey,
Yeah.
it's time for a top 3.
Oh, yay. I forgot. Do you know what? I
Yay.
knew that we were recording today, and I remembered scenarios, and I forgot all about top 3s, which is ridiculous because it's arguably my favourite of the two. But
Well,
yeah. Do you know what it is?
yeah.
Oh, cool. Great.
I do,
Yeah.
but you don't.
No, I don't.
And it's specifically targeted at you.
Oh, at me?
At you?
For me?
For me. For you.
For me is better than at me.
For us.
Targeted at
It's
you. Thanks.
That was very
Yeah.
bully. I wasn't
Thanks,
trying
Kate.
to be a bully.
You'd be the worst bully.
I would, because I would feel, no, I don't like bullying.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't. You'd say something mean and immediately apologise for it.
I mean, good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a compliment. So the topic is your top 3 fruits. And for those who don't
It is
know,
targeted at me. Yeah.
yeah. Well, last time Ali forgot what a peach was.
No,
No,
nectarine.
a nectarine.
Nectarine.
Nectarine, the non-fluffy version of a peach, which he thought had segments in it and seeds.
Correct. And was
it does
part
have
of the
a
orange
seed.
family. Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, we digress.
I actually think that, do you know what? I actually think the reason why is because we also went into, do you say nectarine or nectarine? And you started with nectarine and then went, oh no, actually I think I say nectarine and I say nectarine. But I think that's what threw me when you said nectarine. It sounds a lot like Mandarin. And that's what went on my
Does
head.
it?
Yeah.
Nectarine?
Mandarin, nectarine, the rin at the end. No, I'm just trying to, save some face. Anyway, so top 3 fruits, brilliant.
Yeah, top 3
Yeah,
fruits.
wow. Are we talking about them in their pure form?
I have another one as well. We're doing 2.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
But we're talking about them like as they are, as opposed to
Yeah, in their natural state.
rather
As
than
they are picked from the
chopped
vine,
up or
ground,
in a
or
smoothie
tree.
or whatever, just as they are.
Yep.
Okay, great. I'm going to say
That's actually a hard one for me.
yeah. Well, I'm going to say the one that people who listen to this that know me will want me to say because I get it ripped out of me for the way that I say this fruit.
Ooh.
But I also love it, and that is raspberry.
Oh, raspberry.
Yes.
Raspberry. Raspberry.
They don't. No, it's not that. It's the P. I pronounce
Free.
the P.
Well,
in
yeah.
Raspberry.
Raspberry.
Raspberry. Yeah.
Raspberry.
And everyone finds it hilarious.
I think that's great. I
Yeah.
mean, it's spelled that way.
It's not a silent P.
Raspberry.
People just don't say it. But yeah. But I do really like just on its own.
I agree with you. I think that's got to be my top
Yum.
one as well. Yum.
So you're going for that as well?
Yeah, raspberry.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Another one of mine is
Yes.
mango.
See, no. It's slimy and it's messy.
That's a good ASMR.
And yeah, but I don't think that it. I mean, that goes with mango for sure, that sound effect.
Yeah.
But I just.
Little slippery little
It feels
squares.
like it's just trying to get away. And I'm like,
You're always chasing the mango.
yeah, you're a fruit. Like, sit down and behave.
Sit down. Sit down, mango. I mean, it does have go in it. Mango.
Oh, that's true.
On the go. Mango.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
That was a really bad joke. Like,
It was
real,
terrible, but
so bad.
I really love the smell of mango, but I just
Oh,
can't
really?
get around the texture at all.
So it's a textural thing.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. It tastes good, but I wouldn't put it in my top 3 tasting. But it's just the slipperiness just makes me go, no, this isn't worth it. So yeah, I have to go with, I think my number 2 would be pineapple,
Oh, that's a good one.
but it has to be good pineapple.
Yeah, not, yes. Does it ever make your tongue tingly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I have too much of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's about. Maybe all
Someone
the
has
hair
told
or
me what that
something.
is.
Oh, okay.
Can't remember.
Okay, great.
Very factual
Yeah.
and helpful. You're welcome, everyone.
I've
Google
been told why, but I don't remember.
it. Hey, Google.
Yeah, good. But yeah, I think a good pineapple, just delicious. Yeah. Real good.
Real good.
What about your number 2?
Mango.
Oh, yeah. You went Oh, raspberry. Yes. Okay.
Raspberry
Number
and
3.
mango.
I've got. Oh, I nearly ate the microphone there. I've got 2 that I'm cycling between, and I'm just going to have to pick one. Do you know what yours is?
No.
No. Okay.
Actually,
Yes.
is an avocado fruit or vegetable?
It depends. It's this whole tomato avocado thing. I'm not letting you have it.
Tomato.
I think we go for the sweet
Okay.
kind of thing.
Okay, cool. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. I mean, avocado might not be happy that we've nixed it, but for the purpose of this game, I don't think avocado should count.
Watermelon?
Yeah. See, that's one of the 2 that I'm cycling between.
I don't really like banana unless it's in a smoothie. It's the texture for me. It's too squishy.
Yeah.
Like they're only good for like one day when the texture I can eat, and
That's
then
right.
it's
And then
like
it's like,
mishy-moshy.
Yeah.
No.
I know what you mean. So you're going watermelon or?
Yeah, it's just got so many purposes.
Yeah, has it?
Yeah.
What?
Like in a smoothie,
Eating,
it's really good. Like
yeah.
you can pour alcohol into it and
Yes,
with a
you
straw.
can. Yeah.
Segmented, like with the you eat it and this like the skin is still on.
That's fair enough. Okay.
And then you can just chop it into cubes and it get it really cold and then just
In a fruit salad.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then like it's also good in like a salad with like feta cheese and yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going watermelon, raspberry,
Yeah.
mango, and
Yeah.
watermelon.
Nice. So mine are raspberry, pineapple, and my third. See, I'll talk you through my thinking. So mine was going to be either banana or cantaloupe or what you call rock melon.
Oh, rock melon, yep.
But I don't like rock melon in Australia.
Is it different?
I think it is different. So I have
Like less sweet?
It's more perfumey. If that makes
Oh, I
sense.
see.
when
Yeah,
you-
yeah, I
when you
do.
eat it.
You know, it does taste like you're eating flowers.
Yeah. Whereas the cantaloupe, as we called it in the UK, I used to eat it all the time and loved it, and it didn't have that perfumey overtone. And every time I've had it a good few times.
That's
over
interesting.
Here, and or maybe my taste buds have changed, and I just don't in the more hot conditions.
Your
I don't know.
tasting is more floral.
Maybe, but yeah, it's made me go off
Could be
it.
to do with the soil.
Could be. So I'm going to have cantaloupe as my third, but circa
UK cantaloupe.
2000.
Fair.
Yeah.
I do like a good rock melon, but it's got to be good ripeness.
Oh, yeah, the same
Like,
thing with the
I don't
banana
want a bit of
and
crunch.
with the mango.
It's gotta
If
be
it's
like-
not the right
yeah.
ripeness, yeah,
No.
yeah.
Do you want to hear my
nice.
second top 3?
Yeah,
I
sure.
think that was a great top 3. But my second
was,
top 3,
yeah.
which I have just started getting into the F1
Oh, have you?
this year. So I've
No
watched
way.
all the races.
That's amazing.
Yeah, for the first time.
I love that.
So I'd like to know your top 3 F1 drivers.
Oh my god, this is great. From this season or all time?
All time. I can't say I'll know all of them, but I
Okay.
think we do top 3
Of all time.
of all time.
Okay, interesting. Well, I'll do one from the current driver lineup as well. So there's at least one that you know of.
Okay.
So my current favourite, and probably my favourite of all time, and he still drives, is Fernando Alonso. I hate that he drives for the same team as my worst driver in Lance Stroll because I feel conflicted supporting the team. Because, oh my God, there's a mouse under my desk.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Interestingly, we just had a sensory mousetrap put in the wall.
Oh.
And it had been working for 2 days, and now it obviously hasn't, and he's back.
And he's back.
Great. Oh, there he goes. Excellent.
So just to let everyone know,
Oh,
we're
there he is.
watching
I see him right now.
a little tiny mouse.
Yeah.
What do we do about that?
I don't think we do anything right now.
Okay. We just watch him.
Yeah, we'll just keep you updated, people, on Mouse Watch.
The Pick Me Up podcast featuring Mouse Watch.
Mouse Watch, yeah. He'll have to have a name as well, I feel. He keeps just going back and forward.
Bert.
Interesting. Right.
Yes.
So Fernando Alonso,
Fernando Alonso.
oldest driver on the grid. Just not having a good time with a great car right now, but just love him and his driving and personality. He's great. My second is Ayrton Senna. one of the greatest to ever drive, and I got to, not in person, but got to see him drive before
Wow.
he died,
Yeah.
sadly. Just, yeah, ridiculous talent. And my third is a weird one, and I have always had this thing when I watch sport or music or anything, I just don't like to follow the crowd. I like to not go for the same person as everybody or the same team as everybody. And my first ever favourite Formula One driver in the first season that I ever watched it was a French driver called Olivier Panis. And he drove for a terrible team, but he won the Monaco Grand Prix when only 4 drivers finished the race.
Oh, my God.
And it was amazing because I was supporting this underdog who was in a terrible car who always came in the back 5 places. And then to see him, when I never thought I'd see him win anything, to win Monaco, one of the most prestigious and well thought of races, was amazing. And it was the one and only time that he won an F1 race.
Wow.
And it was a joyous, I think.
And only 4 people finished that particular race.
Yeah. I think I was maybe...
Because it was a weather, it's a hard track, or...
Oh, it's a street circuit, so crashes and the weather was awful and car reliability issues and just, so like 16 drivers retired and there was only 4 left.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, he probably wouldn't have won the race had that not happened, but
he did.
Yeah, I was like 10 or 11 at the time and I just remember going, this is the greatest ever.
That's so
and
good.
it was the only time it happened.
Yeah.
So that's my top 3.
That's your top 3.
Yeah.
I don't reckon I could give you top 3.
I reckon you could. I can help you.
Piastri is my number 1.
Go on, Oscar. Gotta stick with the Aussie. Yeah.
Because he's Aussie.
And that papaya is such a great colour as well.
Papaya.
And it's a good papaya for fruit.
Yeah. No, I was happy with my fruit.
Yeah.
Probably Norris.
Yeah. He has grown wildly on me. When he stepped in, he was young and arrogant and just a little bit annoying.
See, I'm so fresh. I'm only just starting to get to know the personalities very slowly because this is the first time I've ever watched it or had anything to do with it.
Right. Yeah.
So
you've come in for a good for Norris last season and this season, starting to see more of his fun side and his less arrogant and but he's just when he's on.
Yeah.
A little bit inconsistent, but yeah.
I think my third one, and I can't remember his name, but he drives for the Green W team and he's German.
For Williams?
Yeah.
Oh, no, for the Green, for the Sauber team, Nico Hülkenberg.
Yes. Yes.
See, everyone loves him for his name alone, but yeah, Nico is great. Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be my top 3, I think.
I love that.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely performing well at a really terrible team at the moment.
Yes. But I was like, they're not doing very well.
No, but it's their last season as Kick Sauber until they become Audi next year. So
oh, cool.
So that will be interesting.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Very fun. I love it.
There.
Great top 3s.
They were good top 3s.
So
thank you.